Welcome to Quest Island, a place where adventurers from all around the world come to make a name for themselves. Known for its dangerous dungeons, hidden treasures, and plenty of exciting quests, this is where legends are made. Goal of the game: work together to complete the main quest and save the island. But beware, if all players die, the game ends and everyone loses. Resurrection is possible, but items to bring players back are rare. Plan wisely. Players can choose to rest at any time outside of battle or dungeons to fully restore their health. The Quest Master. As the Quest Master, you're in charge of the board and responsible for playing NPC characters and enemies. Remember to keep the flip side of a card secret until after you've read it. It's often more fun when players don't know all the details ahead of time. Before you begin, make sure to find and read the Quest Master's motivations card for guidance. Game setup. Let's get Quest Island ready for play. Step 1. Separate the cards and booklet. Organize the following components into their respective piles: enemy lands, hero, quests, encounters, tokens, the Quest Master card, and of course, the booklet. Only the Quest Master should read the quest cards and apply any special rules. This includes removing cards from the enemy's deck, placing tokens on the board, acting out encounters. Make sure the Quest Master keeps the surprises hidden for maximum fun. Step 2. Choose your quests. You'll need 1 main quest, 1 level 5 quest, 1 level 4 quest, 2 level 3 quests, 2 level 2 quests, 3 level 1 quests. Quests can be chosen randomly as long as you have the correct number from each level. Pro tip: if this is your first time playing, we recommend starting with the level 1 quest, Humble Village. Step 3. Select your heroes. Each player chooses a hero card to begin their adventure. The remaining hero cards are placed in a market pile, flipped over. These items can be bought or traded while the party is at a village or with a merchant. Players are free to check the market pile at any time, but only when it's allowed to buy or trade. Now it's time to create the world of Quest Island. Take 30 green land cards and arrange them in a circular shape to form the island. Next, take your chosen quest cards and lay them evenly across the island. Place these quest cards on top of the land cards to mark their locations. Any extra land cards? No problem. Place them in a pile to serve as the treasure pile for later. Step 5. Build the battleground. Get ready to face the island's fiercest enemies. Draw 6 enemy cards and lay them out land side up beside the island. Arrange them in a 2x3 rectangle. This will be your battleground, where players will fight enemies during the game. Step 6. Gather extra supplies. For the best gameplay experience, it's recommended to have the following items on hand: a few dice, pen and paper for keeping track of stats, notes, or anything else. Keep in mind that these items are not included in the game box, so grab what you need before you start. Navigating the island. Exploration is a key part of Quest Island. Here's how to navigate the island as a party. 1. Party movement. The players move together as a party, deciding on their next steps collaboratively. Players start the game on their chosen level 1 quest card. Outside of battles and dungeons, all movement is done as a group. 2. Choosing your route. Decide as a team on the route to your next quest card. Each land card features symbols representing challenges or obstacles. When moving from one card to the next, players must complete the challenge associated with the new card before continuing. 3. Land card challenges. Here's how to handle challenges based on the symbols encountered. 1. Encounter card. Draw an encounter card and resolve the situation. Encounters may involve quick decisions, puzzles, or skill challenges. 2. Enemy card. Draw an enemy card and prepare for battle. 3. Random challenge. Roll a 1d6 to determine what happens. 1, 2 equals encounter. Face a random scenario requiring action or teamwork. 3, 4 equals enemy. Draw an enemy card and fight. 5, 6 equals nothing. No obstacles. Move forward without delay. 4, nothings. The card has no challenge. Proceed safely. 5, blocked path. This route is blocked. The party must backtrack or find an alternate way forward. Treasures and leveling up. Treasures in Quest Island are more than shiny rewards. They are key to becoming stronger. Here's how they work. Collecting treasure. When a player collects a treasure card, they have 2 options. 1. Keep it in inventory. The card can be saved for later use or trading. 2. Use it to level up. Place the treasure card under your character card to increase your player level. Leveling players up. Starting level, all players begin the game at level 1. Maximum level, a player's level can go up to a maximum of level 6. How to level up. 1. Choose one stat from the treasure card. 2. Place the treasure card under your character card in the corresponding corner for that stat. Each treasure card can only boost one stat, and its placement cannot be changed after being assigned. 3. Each treasure card added represents one level. For example, a character with 3 treasure cards under their hero card is level 4, starting level plus 3. Leveling up is a critical part of your journey. Statistics in Quest Island. 1. Action points, AP. These points are used for performing actions like attacks or abilities during battle. Replenishes fully at the start of each battle turn. 2. Magic points, MP. These points are spent when casting spells. Replenishes fully at the start of each battle turn. 3. Movement. Indicates how far a player can move during their turn in battle. Replenishes fully at the start of each battle turn. 4. Armor. Reduces damage taken during combat. Only changes when affected by a specific card, spell, or condition. 5. Health. Represents the character's vitality. Does not automatically replenish. Health can only be restored through resting, healing spells, healing items. Battlefield mechanics, range and movement. Range, RA. A spell with a range, e.g. 25 RA, means the spell can target up to 25 units away. Battlefield grid. Each square on the battlefield represents 5 range units or 5 movement points. A spell with 25 RA can target up to 5 squares away. Understanding these stats and battlefield mechanics is critical for planning your moves and casting spells effectively. Use your resources wisely and strategize to dominate battles and complete your quests. Players and market items. Hero cards not selected by players during setup are placed in a separate pile called the market pile. Players can look at this pile at any time to see the items available for purchase or trade. Market transactions. 1. Purchasing market items. Players can purchase items by trading treasure cards from their inventory. Each treasure card has a value indicated in yellow on the bottom right corner of the card. Multiple treasure cards can be combined to reach the value of a desired item. 2. The Quest Master's role. The Quest Master oversees the market and facilitates all trades. 3. Team trading. Players trade as a party, deciding together how to pool resources or prioritize purchases. Market availability. The market is only accessible when the party is at a village or interacting with a merchant. Outside these locations, trading and purchasing are not allowed. Equipment rules in Quest Island. Here's how equipment works. Equipment limitations. 1. One of each equipment type. Players can equip only one item per equipment type, such as gauntlets, boots, rings, grimoires, weapons. 2. Weapon rules. Players can carry either up to 2 melee weapons or shields, or 1 bow. Bows require 2 hands. 3. Potions and scrolls. Players can hold more than one type of potion or scroll. These do not count toward the equipment limits. 1. Trading outside combat. Players can trade equipment and items freely when not in combat. This allows the party to optimize their loadouts based on the situation. 2. No trading in combat. During combat, trading is not allowed, so plan ahead. Quests in Quest Island. Quests are central to the adventure, driving the story forward and allowing players to grow in strength and skill. Here's how quests work. Setting up quests. 1. Quest cards. Quest cards are placed quest side up on the island during setup. The Quest Master reads the back of each card first to understand the objectives and any special rules. 2. Quest information. The Quest Master decides how much information to share with the players. Keeping some details hidden can add excitement and surprise to the adventure. The goal of the game. The ultimate goal is to complete the main quest. To qualify for the main quest, the entire party must reach level 6. Leveling up. 1. Leveling up players. Players level up individually by collecting treasure and using the stats on the treasure cards to increase their abilities. Each treasure card used for leveling counts as 1 level. 2. Leveling up the party. The party levels up as a group by completing quests. Each quest has a level requirement, meaning players must strategically progress to access higher level quests. Dungeon cards in Quest Island. Dungeons present a unique challenge where players must act individually, navigating traps, portals, and obstacles to complete the dungeon. Here's how they work. 1. Dungeon rules. 1. Individual completion. Each player completes the dungeon individually. Begin on the start tile and navigate to the end. 2. Movement in the dungeon. Roll a 1d6 to determine the number of spaces you move. Continue rolling and moving until you complete the dungeon. 1. Traps. Landing on a trap causes 1d6 damage to your health. 2. Portals. Portals transport you instantly to the other portal in the dungeon. 3. Special movement tiles. +2. Move 2 squares forward. Nash 1. Move 1 square backward. Encounters in Quest Island. What are encounters? Encounters represent unexpected events and can include merchants, a chance to trade or purchase items. Enemies, immediate combat begins. Treasure, players can collect valuable rewards. Traps, inflict damage or impose other penalties. Encounter resolution. 1. Drawing an encounter card. When an encounter is triggered, draw a card from the encounter deck and follow its instructions. 2. Post-encounter actions. After resolving the encounter, shuffle the encounter deck. Place the used encounter card at the bottom of the deck, unless the card specifies otherwise. Resting in Quest Island. Health recovery. Players lose health in battle but can only regain it through specific actions. 1. Sleeping. 2. Healing spells. 3. Healing items. 4. Finishing a quest. Completing a quest automatically replenishes health for all players. When you can sleep, players can choose to sleep anytime unless they are inside a dungeon or actively in battle. Unlimited resting. Players can rest as many times as they want, but be cautious. Some quests use resting as a mechanic to influence the story or gameplay. Battlefield setup. 1. Using the battleground. Use the enemy land battleground for combat. 2. Hero starting positions. Hero characters begin in the leftmost column of the battleground. Each player chooses their starting position within that column. 3. Enemy starting positions. Enemies begin in the rightmost column with their positions chosen by the quest master. Battlefield rules. 1. Obstacles. Watch for obstacles on the battleground that may block movement or line of sight. Ranged attacks require a clear line of sight to target enemies. 2. Skipping enemies. If the party deems an enemy card too powerful to handle, they can skip the card before entering battle. 3. Running from battle. If players wish to retreat mid-battle, each player must roll a 1d6 and get a result of 3 or higher to successfully run. If any player fails, the party skips their turn and must either continue fighting or try to escape again on their next turn. Battle rules in Quest Island. Initiative. 1. Players roll for initiative. Each player rolls a 1d6. The player with the highest roll goes first, followed by alternating turns between players and enemies. Combat in Quest Island features a variety of enemy types, each with unique behaviors. Here's how basic melee and ranged enemies operate. Melee enemy. Movement. A basic melee enemy has 20 movement per turn. It will move toward the closest player to engage them in close combat. Attacking. Once adjacent to a player, the enemy attacks with 1d6 normal damage. Melee attacks must be performed on an adjacent tile unless otherwise stated. If an attack does not specify a range, RA, it is a melee attack. Close combat rules. When an enemy is adjacent to a player, the player is considered to be in close combat. Players cannot move freely away from close combat. To escape, sacrifice half of their remaining movement, rounded up, to break away. Ranged enemies will move to a position just within the range of their attack. E. After attacking, they will retreat to cover if possible. Attacking. Ranged attacks require a line of sight to the target. Obstacles and positioning can block ranged attacks. Line of sight rules. 1. Line of sight mechanics. Both players and obstacles on the battlefield can block a spell or bow's line of sight. If the target is blocked, the attack cannot hit. 2. Shooting around allies or obstacles. If an ally or enemy is in the way, you can attempt to shoot around them. Roll 1d6, 3+ for success. The shot bypasses the obstruction and hits the target. 1 or 2 was failure. The obstacle or ally takes the damage instead. 3. Rolling for damage. After a successful attack, roll for the weapon or spell's damage to apply to the target. Quest bosses. Some quest bosses include specific instructions for their behavior. Follow these guidelines when playing as the boss. 2. Standard enemies. Most enemies provide stats, and the quest master decides how to play them. 3. Spawn mechanics. Some enemy cards spawn multiple enemies. The quest master places and controls these accordingly. Post-battle. Enemy cards. After a battle, place defeated enemy cards into a separate discard pile. 2. Loot and recovery. Follow quest or enemy-specific rules for loot drops or rewards after the battle. Critical hits and damage calculation in Quest Island. Combat in Quest Island includes critical hits, bonuses, and specific rules for calculating damage. Here's how to manage these mechanics. 1. Rolling a critical hit. If you roll a 6 on any attack roll, it's a critical hit. Add +2 damage to your total damage roll. 2. Critical bonuses. Bonuses from items or abilities that boost critical hits always stack, so plan your gear accordingly. Damage calculation steps. 1. Roll for damage. Follow the attack's instructions to determine the dice roll. 1d6. Roll 1 6-sided die. 2d6. Roll 2 6-sided dice and sum the results. 2. Add bonuses. Apply any damage bonuses from items, abilities, or critical hits after rolling the dice. 3. Apply armor. Subtract the target's armor value from the total damage. Armor reduces damage before any other modifiers. 4. Apply resistances. If the target has resistance or takes half damage, calculate this last. Always round up when halving damage. Example calculation. 1. You attack an enemy and roll 2d6, getting a 4 and a 6. Total roll equals 10. 2. The 6 triggers a critical hit, adding +2 damage. New total equals 12. 3. Your weapon adds +3 damage. New total equals 15 ton. 4. The enemy has 4 armor. Total after armor equals 11. 5. The enemy has resistance, so the damage is halved. Half of 11 equals 5.5, rounded up to 6 damage dealt. Post-battle rules in Quest Island. 1. Treasure collection. Refer to the enemy card to see the amount of treasure earned from the battle. The party takes this treasure from the treasure pile. The group decides which players will receive the treasure, distributing it strategically to benefit the team. Death. 1. Dead players. Any players who die during battle remain dead until revived by a revival spell, a special encounter, or a revival item. 2. Party movement after death. The party continues traveling normally, even with a dead player. Be cautious. Losing more players may jeopardize the adventure. Running away. When to run. Players can attempt to run if they cannot fight or wish to skip the battle. 2. How to run. To successfully run, all players must meet these conditions. Roll 1d6 and get a result above 2. 3. Failed attempt. If the party fails, they must enter combat for that round. The party may try to run again on their next turn once per round. Rules for 2 to 5 players in Quest Island. The number of players affects the starting resources and the ability to skip enemy battles. Here's how the rules adjust based on your group size. Starting resources and enemy skips. 1. 2 players start with 4 treasures. Gain 6 enemy skips to use throughout the game. 2. 3 players start with 3 treasures. Gain 5 enemy skips to use throughout the game. 3. 4 players start with 1 treasure. Gain 4 enemy skips to use throughout the game. 4. 5 players start with 0 treasures. Gain 3 enemy skips to use throughout the game. Enemy skips. 1. Using skips. Enemy skips allow the party to bypass battles with normal enemies. These skips are a shared resource, so the party must decide carefully when to use them. 2. High-level enemies. High-level enemies, such as dragons, often provide the option to skip the battle without consuming an enemy skip. This exception is typically stated on the enemy's card.